campaign in further depth
Genius of the
soon.
week was
Okay,
K.I.S. Her layout
soon.
was amazing.
Good
You're gonna
job, though.
check it out more.
Good job.
But
That's fun. That's cool.
it's
38 News is this week.
honestly been a day that I will always remember. This is the start for Being the Change LLC. We joined Loan Factory today, and bespoke billionaire mortgage broker TNT gave Adriane Mayes a call to thank her for the opportunity for the meeting on Thursday, to let me know he'll be in Detroit this week. But we're going to get together next week. I told him I want to show him some results. I appreciate you, TNT, more than you know, giving this loan originator a jump on life and being able to just, you waived my fees, you taking care of the loan origination, you're standing up for your word, you're a billionaire in the making, trillionaire in the making. I'm a billionaire in the making. I appreciate you, seriously, TNT, for being there for people like me that has a direction, wanted to help homeownership. But again, like I said on the call, the pain of the rates and government and things that you cannot control, but you taking all that out of the business for the loan originator. Now, being licensed back, I was 22 states with Rocket Mortgage. And then I went down to 8. Now, okay, I'm down to 5. So Michigan, Texas, Ohio, Virginia, Florida. I can't remember the last one. I got you. Ohio. Did I say that? So those states right now are the ones that I'm licensed in. And Being the Change LLC, Nika Gaines and Adriane Mayes are going to set up the race checker. Make sure that you're receiving the best opportunities. Save your money where you can. And with your girl, Adriane Mayes, AI Genius, let me get back to training. Let me go get back to this millionaire training. Let's go.
Everything. Okay, I think they're onto something. We just talked about Google a second ago. What about Meta? AI is the biggest investment area for Meta in 2024. We're focusing on building AI-powered tools that can personalize user experiences, improve content moderation, build immersive experiences in the metaverse. Doesn't stop there. Amazon, your boy Bezos, we're at the beginning of the golden age of AI. Recent advancements that have already led to inventions that previously lived in a realm of science fiction. And we've only scratched the surface of what's possible. This is coming from the guy who probably has more access to future tech than, 10 people on the planet? No, a little bit more? Maybe? You know?
I can. Look at that. AI.
Are they? Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, I guess there's Elon Musk is suing OpenAI. Oh, because they're not for the people anymore? Yeah. So, Elon, when he started OpenAI, back then it was supposed to be a nonprofit just to help humanity. He's suing because they lost their mission and it's all for profit now. So that's the conversation. And then, you got this guy, Tim Cook, CEO of Apple. We need to be thoughtful about how we develop AI, ensuring that it remains an extension of humanity, not a replacement. If we do this right, AI has the potential to be a powerful tool for good, improving lives and solving some of the world's most pressing challenges. Aging, I'm sure, is in there. Cancer, I'm sure, is in there. Probably all sorts of things. And then, of course, it's like, well, what does Elon have to say? This was him chiming in live at an event 4 days ago.
We really are on the edge of probably the biggest technology revolution that has ever existed. There's supposedly sort of a Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times. Well, we live in the most interesting of times, the most interesting. And for a while there, it was making me a bit depressed, frankly, because I was like, well, will they take over? Will we be useless? But then the way that I reconciled myself to this question was, would I rather be alive to see the AI apocalypse or not? And I'm like, I guess I'd like to see it.
So we're all going to die, and who cares, right? I thought it was important to start here because you guys are like in the weeds of understanding it, knowing it, etc. And when you're in the weeds, sometimes you forget about the big picture and what's happening, And so it's like the most lucrative opportunities with this skill set are probably still yet to come because we have no idea. They don't exist, etc. What I do know is that there will need to be people with an understanding of how all this works. And most people are simply unwilling to understand, which makes you valuable. And I've heard it a million times. I see the comments, they're like, well, Billy, if AI does this, won't everyone just do it? And the answer is no. The example that I gave The first class was, we all have the ability to cook dinner for ourselves, but I bet all of you went out to eat this weekend or ordered. And there's the end of that conversation. Like, if you don't want to heat up a hot pocket and you'd rather order, then you definitely don't want to build a funnel. And I've heard it on every edge, by the way. When Facebook came out, it's like, well, Facebook does all these ads and make it simple. Why doesn't everyone do it? That was 12 years ago. I'm still trying to convince people to advertise. Like, everything. YouTube, this is humanity. Money, there are opportunities. So this is NVIDIA, which was just a graphics card producer for video games. If you're a gamer, this is what makes games look sick. I'm summarizing and dumbing it down. But they're also the chip. How do I easily say this? They make AI chips. There you go. So that way everyone can do the AI thing. And so you'll notice that we marked this little red mark, which really was the mark of their ascension and their stock price. You can see they were about 100, 200 bucks or something. Then all of a sudden it 4 or 5x'd. Anybody know what was announced around then? Yeah, ChatGPT. And then people said, oh, this AI thing is happening. They start Googling stuff. Oh, this company, NVIDIA, has chips. And I bring it up because that's just one, right? So it's like even how people invest in their portfolios is going to change. But again, to everybody who understands, you have a massive advantage. Do not stop learning. That is the money. The money is in what you can know and what someone else doesn't know. That's the game. Okay. So, understanding how to use ads, automation, and AI to deliver customers is the most important part. Stay with me today. All right? I'm going to teach you one simple process, and we're just going to do it again. And I just want you to practice. The short is, there's a million ways to fix a funnel. There's a million ways to fix an ad. Don't get caught in a rabbit hole. Follow these fundamentals, all right? Look, there's 3 areas in your campaign that can be broken. People come to me, they say, Billy, my Facebook ads don't work. That expression doesn't actually make sense because a Facebook ad's job is just to show somebody a message. And usually that part works. The part that doesn't work is, Billy, I spent 50 bucks and I didn't make any money, so it's broken. And if that is the case, then it's probably one of these 3 areas. Either the advertisement, something with the landing page, thingamabobber, or something with the way that you're closing the deal. Or maybe that 4th bonus one, which is in the upsells, etc. Okay, fine. 6 questions to ask yourself, and this is all you need to know for today. 1, with the advertisement side. Did it get any clicks? Some people ran an ad, you're like, Billy, I tried to spin them. I didn't get no damn clicks. Secondly, are the clicks expensive? Billy, I got the clicks, but holy cow, it used like all my budget right away. That was nuts. And then, was the ad rejected? I actually tried to submit, Billy, but they didn't even accept my ad. Did anybody fall in this category this week? Anybody fall in this category this week? Yeah, one of these? They're pretty common. Let me know in the chizzy. Any? Yeah. See it a little bit? Right? A little bit? A little see something? Am I spotting a bunch of people who didn't do their homework? Okay, cool. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, we know the game. And then you have this second part, which is the landing page. Did they immediately bounce? Meaning, did they go to the site, but they just took off? All right, they ran. Or they went to the site, Billy, but they didn't actually take action. They didn't schedule the appointment, give me their name, email, and phone number. They didn't buy the thing. And then there's this other part. Yeah, Billy, I got the leads, but are they turning into sales? Okay? So, take a picture of this. This is the only 6 questions I want you to follow on. And by the way, this is the same framework I follow for a massive company or a company just getting started off. And usually the most stubborn ones are like the small business that's spending like a couple grand a month, and they swear they know it all and that their campaign is so different. It almost always comes down to this. So, what can go wrong with the ad? I'm just taking you through all the slices I just showed you. Notice I kind of colored it in 3 components. The advertisement, the capture, the sell. I'm going to break down what all that actually means. So, what can go wrong with an ad? Here's an ad. Not getting enough clicks. Why? Well, maybe your audience just doesn't care. We love to complicate it, but just look, if, let's say that you go to the studio cam for a second. What's the best way to kind of illustrate this? Yeah, there's a studio, everybody wave. So let's say that all of us here, we are vegans, and somebody comes in here and says, I'm selling cheeseburgers. Would any of us stop that person? No, we would probably actually complain and be like, this is a vegan restaurant. What are you doing in here? Get out of here. And we tell them to leave. That's your ads. Sometimes just, they don't care. Whoever you're showing, they're just not interested. Not that complicated, right? But the next aspect, low desire level. Yeah, it's cool, but not that cool. Give you the example. If I told somebody, hey, go sing karaoke in front of every, or like you ever do a dare with your friends, like go jump in the cold water, and you're like, how much are you gonna give me? They're like, $1. You're like, no. Then they're like, a G. You're like, cannonball, bitch. Like, so sometimes you just didn't give them something that was that desirable. Like this. Third, it's a small world, meaning you got so targeted and narrow that maybe your audience is just so small that like they weren't online and nobody really saw it. And you'll know this by how many people saw your ad. So it's small, you just too narrow, right? Not enough action. And there's a component. Take a quick picture of that real quick. And the point of this lesson is they should feel overwhelmingly simple, because the problem is you start to know more about this. I see it all the time. You spiral down this rabbit hole of thinking, is the color right? It's that simple. It's just nobody wanted it. So it's almost always the problem. Yeah, it just wasn't that good of an offer. Okay? Second component. Clicks are getting too expensive. Now, don't forget, let me draw this out. The pricing, and I'm going to dumb this down, but hopefully it makes sense. Drawing board, please. So, pricing works like this. I should do it the other way. Hold on. Okay. If 2 out of 100 people see your ad, that's a 2% click-through rate. Or click your ad. If 5 out of 100 people click your ad, that's a 5% click-through rate. Okay? The more people that engage, the cheaper your clicks are. That's the simplicity of it. So basically, if you're paying a bunch of money for a click, what is Facebook telling you? Telling your ad sucks. They're just like, yeah, nobody's interested. Like, I'll even be more specific. Hey, they're not interested in this content. That's it. Not interested in this content. That is all. That is all. Just saying. That's the formula. So, coming back to the Prezi, if your clicks are too expensive, it means your relevant score / your CTR, what I just showed you, is probably too low. There's almost always a direct correlation with your cost and your click-through rate. Okay? And Rachel, that's a good question. Hey, what's an expensive click? Well, it depends, which we'll dive into in a little bit here. Because what am I selling? What's expensive to you may not be expensive to somebody else. It's all about that bottom line, which we're going to focus on today. Clicks too expensive, right audience meets the right offer. Again, just are you talking to the right person? And then lastly, your ad was rejected. You didn't follow the terms and guidelines, is likely it. Or they accidentally said you didn't follow the terms and guidelines and you did. And you just have to appeal it. You know, this is, the short of this is, yeah, just kind of a pain in the ass process. But hey, if this is the pain in the ass process for us being able to click a button and target anybody in the world with a couple of clicks, I think it's fair. Right? What we're getting versus what they're expecting, I think that's fair. We can't be mad at that. All right? And then other thing that people slip on is just like calling out, like being very direct. You know, hey, are you in debt at this time looking for, when you're very you-ish, are you doing this, or hey, ladies, are you struggling with it? Sometimes when you call certain things out, they're very wary, and they ban that because they don't want anybody to like do personalized like shaming. Yeah, shaming is a good word. Hey, you black people, are you in debt? Like, it's like, whoa, this ad is probably not going to get passed, you know? So just be careful. And I use the funny example of, hey, black people, but for them, that's the same thing as, hey, people living in this area, hey, women, hey, men. It's just another group name, right? Anytime you can categorize people and say it, it's probably going to get rejected. So I'm always a play it safe than sorry, okay? So take a picture of this real quick. These are the things that can go wrong with an ad. Okay. Yeah, you may be able to get away with it, Aaron, right? Hey, air breathers, you might be fine with that one, right? Till Facebook goes underwater and like meets the snorkels, or what is that old school gang? The snorklets? Is it snorkels? Yeah, the snorks. Meet the snorks. Yeah, that show's hot. So yeah, till they mess it up for us. This is a little worksheet, and it's just got those questions on there. Just like, hey, what are you going to do to fix it? What are you going to do to fix it? So here's the problem, and I need to be able to address what am I going to change that. All right? Now, second component, we got the landing page. Immediate bounce. Why do people leave immediately? One, not congruent. Hey man, I thought you were selling apples. This is watermelon. I'm gone. How about this is video? You show me pictures. Congruency. Not sexy. Sometimes people are still in an era of, are you going to steal my credit card? Like Facebook went down today for like 20 minutes and people are like, somebody stole my login. Like, yeah, like, it's over, right? So not sexy, AKA, I don't trust you because this looks a little off. People could bounce. They were just scared. Slow load time. This is a massive one. I've talked to you guys about this a lot. Slow load time will always make someone go. We live in an instant world. I click, nothing showed up. Oh, this must be broken. Gone. Just like that. And then this is a big one, and I'm sure this happened to people over this week. People don't take action. One, you didn't do your ad and didn't take action. Or secondly, you did the ad and you got clicks and you spent money because you saw that on your bill. And you're like, what the heck is going on? Facebook must be, I knew Zuckerberg was stealing money, da-da-da. When in actuality, you probably just didn't give them a good enough reason to put in their information. And I'm not a fan of using anecdotal data, but I think this anecdotal one makes sense, which is think about how little you give your information to and how you most likely protects yourself. So does everybody else. So if you're not giving a legitimate, good enough reason, they're not going to. And that's it. It's that simple. Like that's. So what you'll find is, it's like we're doing this breakdown of trying to figure out why my ads aren't working. And truth be, it probably just wasn't that good of an offer. It almost always comes down to that. The offer wasn't that good. Because even if the funnel was broken, even if like they had to do weird things, but if you were giving away a free Ferrari and they believed you, wouldn't you still find a way to buy it? You call the hotline, you chat, you text, you do whatever. Because you wanted the thing. All right? So, same thing, just a worksheet to ask yourself those questions. And then finally, the big gaina. What can go wrong with the sale? Leads don't turn into sales. Number one culprit, slow response time. Almost always. What's an appropriate response time to when somebody opts in, y'all? Type it in the chat. What's the appropriate GENEIUS standard? Yeah, there's only one word acceptable for this answer. Now. Immediate. I'm telling you, I got to test this beyond firsthand in a very unique way. And that was real simple. When we're running ads for hundreds of franchises and we see some owners closing and some owners not, and I'm talking to them on the phone, the difference was always, when'd you call the leads? Well, we called them all within 24 hours. The second you do that, you're already not going to get a hold of 75%. Here's another way to put that. You spend $100 on an ad, you might as well burn $75. The equivalent. Just burn it. Just take it out. Don't even spend it. Just burn it right away. That's what slow response time does. And then if someone really is excited about working out and you got a slow response time, what did they do in the meanwhile? Yeah, they went to your competitor. When you call them, like, oh, sorry, I just got done with a workout. You were late. That is everything. Now, in fairness, for a small business owner, this is common because they're usually understaffed, under-resourced. Because they usually didn't have AI to be able to respond to everything. Right? That's the cool thing about what we get to build. All these automations where, you're instantly texting, we get to do all that. So that's fun. Which brings me to the next point. Slow response time is one thing, but it's almost always a direct correlation. Okay, well, did you send an automated text message? Did you send an automated email? Okay, you didn't, so those things happen. And then this one's big. Weak salespeople. How to get you. And here's the mirror check. Sometimes we gotta fire ourselves or practice up ourselves. Especially if this is most common when a business has been built off of referrals, because it will train bad habits. Because with a referral, it's very hard to mess up a deal. They're pretty much coming to you ready to go. You don't have to be a good salesperson. So-and-so has said you do the thing, so as long as there's nothing weird, I'm in. So when someone's coming cold and they genuinely just saw you as an ad, when you call and say, hey, what's up, it's Billy, they're like, what's up? And you're like, oh no, this attitude. They're like, no, you're a stranger. Go to a stranger and say, what's up, son? What's up? What do you think? What do you think the response is going to be? Yo, chill, back up. So now it doesn't mean you can't meet a stranger and become friends, go on dates, etc. It just means your game has to be tight. Process got to be money, right? So take a picture of this real quick. Take a picture of this real quick. All right. So, congrats, y'all. You now know all 6 ways a campaign can go bad. That's it. I'm telling you, and you guys tell me, if you do all these things and it's not fixed, I would love to learn, because that would be a case study I've never seen before. Ever. Never seen it. Now, the hard part, the genius part, is the thinking, right? Coming with the offers, all the things we've been practicing. We've been practicing for 2 months, okay? So, now, how do we map this out and apply it? This is the practice today, okay? Is we're going to make a leak analysis. I'll go back to these worksheets here in a second. A leak analysis is the simplest form we can make it, right? Where, everybody take a picture of this real quick. I want you guys to have this. This is how I want you to start seeing your campaigns. And what I mean by that is the ad. There's only a couple metrics you really need to know, which is how much are you paying per click, and like I said earlier, what the click-through rate is, right? So in this example, if I'm running this ad, I don't have them on this thing, I have the cost per click and what the click-through rate is. And if that click-through rate is high, my cost per click is probably going to be lower. If that click-through rate is low, my cost per click is probably going to be higher. Then the second thing I need to know is I need to understand how many people actually went to this page and gave us their information, so I know my conversion rate on my landing page. And I also want to know how much I spent, so I know my cost per lead. And then lastly, out of the leads that I got, I want to know how many turned into sales. And that will tell me pretty much anything I need to know about how to fix a business, quote unquote. So here's what that looks like. Example, on this ad, I'm paying 92 cents a click. My click-through rate is 1.32%. So if I said, hey, I want to get my cost per click down, what would I need to do, y'all? If I said, hey, I want to get that cost per click down, what would I need to do? I would need to increase my click-through rate. I would need to increase my click-through rate. Now, how would I increase my click-through rate? How would I increase my click-through rate? Yeah, probably a different ad. Specifically, what about the ad, though? Correct, Allison. Probably need to change the offer. I probably need to change the offer. And look, to give another context to this, if I want my cost per click to be half of that, like I want it to be 100% different, like I want this thing to drop, then you probably need to change something 100% different. What I see all of the time in ads happen is they're like, Billy, I need my cost to get changed in half. But then you change like 2 words in the ad. And it was like, you're looking for 100% movement with like a 2% change. Probably ain't going to happen. Okay? So, there you go. There's the first aspect. Now, the second aspect. In this hypothetical for fun, let's say I got 213 clicks on that ad. But out of those 213, 103 actually gave me their information. That would mean that I had a 48% conversion rate on the landing page. In other words, 48% of the people that clicked actually gave their contact info. Cool. If I wanted that to go up, what would I do, yo? If I wanted that to go up, what would I do? And this is what we'll practice today, all good. What would I do? Yeah, probably a juicier offer, right? Maybe a little sexier video to tell the story better, right? I mean, and even put your marketing hat away. Just say, hey, 100 people came to or 200 people came to the page, 100 people gave me their info. I want more to say yeah. How do we sweeten up the deal? Right? Isn't that how we logically think about it? All right, how do we spice it up a little bit? What? Nothing crazy, right? We're just talking human psychology. Now, I want to see, what does that mean in money? Well, in this example, if I spent $195.27 and I got 103 leads, then that would mean if I divide this by this, I would have $1.90 leads. That is how I come up with my cost per lead, is I take the total amount I spent by the amount of leads that I got, and that tells me, hey, every time I spend $1.90, I'm getting a lead. Now that's a cool metric I can rock with. I'm like, okay, cool. Every $2, I get an opportunity to close. Great. If I'm closing, right? If I'm closing. So then we go the next step. I got 2 sales out of the 103 leads. That's a 1.9% closing percentage. Right? Now, if I wanted to get more people to say, yeah, what would I do? Now what? Maybe improve my sales skills, right? Say what? I could do retargeting. Yeah, that's a point. Yeah, what else? What did we just go over in that last example? Response time. Response time, right? So those 6 pieces that we went over in that circle, that all pertains to these steps that you're looking at right here. And then if I wanted to do the math for my cost per sale, meaning how much money do I got to spend to get an actual sale, according to these stats, well, in this case, I spent $195.27, $195.27, and I made 2 sales. So I'm just going to divide that. And when I divide that, I realize to get a sell, it's $97.63. This is how we grow a business with math. We can no guessing. Hey, every time I spend about $100, I'm getting a new sell. Now, some people go, well, is that good or bad? What's it depend on? How much money did I make from the sale? Exactly. What if I told you they bought something for $1,000? Shit, then we might be in business. What if I told you we're selling something for $13? This right here, as we're talking, this is the game. This is it. And look, we're only choosing 6 numbers. We're not even this simplicity right here. This is it. This is the focus. Okay? Yeah, Jess says, yeah, what if it's a 20K sales price? I don't know. Not to mention, is there a chance that out of these 103, can we maybe get some more sales? They're not dead, right? No, they're just leads. What if we turn more in there? This is the game. Is this helpful so far? Real quick, we're gonna go into detail and practices, but is this making sense? Everybody with me? Give me a quick yes or no. Heat check and check.
All right, that was not enough of a sneak peek. Billie Jean's AI marketing billionaire in the making, Adriane Mayes, AI genius, being the change because we care. Innovative billionaire loan originators to help people just get the best deal. Thank you, TNT, for reigniting my mortgage brokerage enthusiasm. Adriane Mayes, AI genius. Write it down, y'all. Y'all might want to keep these ones. Starts today, March 5th, 2024. I can, I will, I must. Let's go. Deuces.